All right, Southwest Florida, welcome to another edition of Lee Pitts Live. If you're wondering where we are, we're on the top of the city of Fort Myers. And if you want to get to the top, just come to the Sidney and Burn Davis Art Center. It's a spectacular setting overlooking the Caloosahatchee River. We'll be here for the next 4 weeks. Have a fabulous show in store for you. Today we get a chance to talk to one of my favorite organizations in all the land. The Children's Network of Southwest Florida is here. We'll get a chance to talk to some foster parents and a director of foster care. Also on the show, we get a chance to talk to Gabriele Spuckes, the president of the Democratic Club of Lee County. All that's happening on Lee Pitts Live. We'll be right back. Southwest Florida, welcome back. We're here at the magnificent setting here on the rooftop of the Sidney and Burn Davis Art Center. What a magnificent place for Lee Pitts Live to have the show, and the setting is just wonderful. You have the Caloosahatchee River in the back of us, the Caloosahatchee River. You got the bridges to North and South Fort Myers is going on, and got one of my good friends up here for this interview, Gabriele Spuckes, the chair of the Democratic Party of Lee County. It's good to get you on the show again.
Thank you, and you're right, this is a lovely spot. First time I've been up here.
You've just been admiring the whole time, huh?
Absolutely, it's just gorgeous down here today.
Your brain has been turning, and I'm sure you'll find your way back up here sometime in the future.
I think real soon, real soon.
You live over in the Cape, and you find yourself, you were telling me, you find yourself coming to Fort Myers a lot to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I love downtown Fort Myers. I bring all my friends when they're out of town here, and they're all in awe with the river and the bridge and all the buildings that are some of them are really old. I mean, hundreds of years, and they're still here. So
I'm sure the head of the Chamber of Commerce and the public relations person for Cape Coral, listening to a prominent person like you say that is like not so happy about that, but maybe they need to get their act together, huh?
They need some help.
All right. Well, we're so happy to get you here on the show, and things
I'm glad
are just.
to be here.
Tell us, what is the Democratic Party of Lee County?
So we represent the Democrats in Lee County. So we have about 138,000 Democrats, and we are starting to see a trend. People are moving down here. And I mean, you know how Fort Myers is growing and all of Lee County is growing. And we also are getting some new Democrats moving in. So we're happy to see that.
What's the attraction to the Democratic Party, would you say?
Well, I think if you go back to a couple years ago, a year and a half or so ago, a lot of people felt that with the president we had, really became very, I would say, people unsure of what was going to happen. And I think that there were some changes right near the end there that people changed their party right before election time that they still could do it. So I think we're seeing a trend, a change. We're getting more and more people from the Northeast, which tend to be Democrats. So not always, of course, but we'd like to think that they are. And so we welcome them.
The whole idea of turning Lee County blue really inspires you in the Democratic Party here in Lee County, right?
Absolutely.
What does that mean when I say to you, turn Lee County blue?
Well, we want to have a Democratic presence, and we've been struggling with that a little bit, obviously, when you look at the stats. But we're confident we can make a big change. We've got good people working. We've got thousands of people that are volunteering to help us, and we certainly can't do it ourselves. So we really look forward to those people that want to help us, and they're out there, foot soldiers, and meeting people, and we're really trying to make sure that people know that we're here.
One of the things I noticed too about the Democrats in particular, you guys are grassroots. I mean, you see when there are events taking place in all of our diverse communities, you can see a table there, getting people registered, getting people involved in the political process. Even at my Lee Pitts Live after work, when you walk in there, you see a table right there for the
and we love that.
For the Democratic Party. People's like, I was like, hey, go right over there and get registered.
That's right.
Is that the whole spirit, is to meet people where they are?
Yes, we need to be present, you know, and a lot of people don't realize that, but that's where we want to be. We want to be able to be downtown at the art walk, right? Or the music walk. We want to be, you know, at places within the communities, and we want to make sure that we're going to be proud of that. We're going to be wearing our shirts, and we're definitely interested in making sure we're Democrats are known.
Vote by mail, that has become something that's like the main engine of the voting process now.
Right.
Talk about that and its importance.
It is so important because, you know, when you think about vote by mail, it is so simple. It gets to your mailbox, right? You sit down, you could be in your pajamas, you could be having a cup of coffee, fill that out, get it back, and it's going to, obviously you'll be able to vote. What we've been focusing on, we had a great event in September 25th where we actually knocked on doors to let people know that their vote by mail is not able, they weren't able to have it anymore, so they had to renew it. So we were out in Lehigh, we were down in Fort Myers and Cape Coral, and we were telling people about it because we want people to be safe for one thing, and standing long in lines, if you're on election day, you figure people that have disabilities or, you know, they have opportunities that they can't be there for long in the line, they want to be able to hurry up and the lines are long. Vote by mail does all of that. It takes care of that. And in addition, when you think about our primaries, right in the middle of August 28th, almost like a year to the primaries. So when you look at that, yes. So when you look at that, you know, you're going to stand in line again, but you know, if you get a vote by mail, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to think about it. It just comes to you. And just as long as you send it back, and our supervisor of election does actually, it's stamp free. So there's no reason even to have to go out and buy a stamp.
Talk about the signatures. Is that very important to update? You have to update your signature all the time? Not
really. But what happens is, and they're big believers, the supervisor of election wants to ask people to do it every 2 years. And here's what I look at. As we age, okay, signatures change. I know mine has. And, you know, when you think about that signature is so important because it can stop you from voting if it doesn't match your original paperwork, right? So, you know, people break their wrist or they have arthritis and their signature isn't the same. So it's harmless. You go and sign up every 2 years or so to make sure your signature matches, and you don't have to worry about it being disturbed in the sense that you can't vote.
I mean, even when I sign my signature now, I just sign it different ways all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go down that route, okay? When I register to vote, I'm registered for a lifetime? That one time when I registered to vote?
Yes. And
so it's not, if you haven't registered to vote, you need to register to vote. But if you are registered to vote, now it's just a matter of you voting.
Correct. Voting, and of course if you've changed something, you know, you've moved from one block to another, you should really be putting your correct address in there, right?
Okay.
So anything like that, if for some reason you're unable to, you need assistance, maybe you didn't before, then you would request those things also for voter registration.
Right now here in 2021, as we are closing, you know, in the last quarter of 2021, right, things are happening right now. This is not too early to start gearing up and making sure you probably working right now as hard. It's a whole, you know, talk about that behind the scenes.
Well, you know, I think people, I have a funny story to tell about that. I was talking to somebody and they said, well, what are you doing? There's absolutely nothing going on right now. And I was flabbergasted. I was like, no, we work all the time about making sure that we can get people registered to vote, people to understand what the Democrats are doing here, and that we, you know, it just amazed me. I was shocked. I couldn't believe they were like, oh, nothing's happening in 21. It's happening.
Where can people vote now?
Well, there's nothing, as far as vote, you mean actually register to vote or to get.
Well, how do people know where they can vote?
Oh,
Let's
okay,
put it like
perfect. That's challenging sometimes because what happens is people get a card. When you register to vote, you get a voter card. And I'm one of those people that keep it in my wallet so I don't lose it, but a lot of people do. And tells you where your polling place is. So some people will call us and say, I don't know where to vote. right? So if they don't have their card, it's easy. They can go to the voter registration form, request a new one. And also, if there's a need, they can call us. We can give them the information as far as where their poll will be, because we have that information in our websites that we can tell them.
Now, we have your website has been appearing on the screen throughout this process, but give a phone number as well.
It's 239-939-2866.
And you'll get a human being on the phone.
Yes, you do. And sometimes it's me.
They get to talk to you directly.
That's right.
Boy, I tell you, is it fair to say that you eat, sleep, and breathe Democratic Party and getting people registered and getting people to vote?
Yes.
You wake up every morning enthusiastic about the process?
I am. I'm very positive with what's happening, and I think we're making a big turn, and I think there's going to be a difference.
Well, we're looking forward to continuing to stay updated on Lead Pits Live. We also encourage people, you can go to the Lead Pits Live website and just click on the logo for the Democratic Party, Lee County, and get information there as well. Now, is voter registration information on that website as well?
It is, yes. And you can actually do it, we can do it online, but we can also do it in our office, and also obviously libraries and the supervisor of elections.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Same here. Thank you so much.
Let me bump you out.
Thank you.
As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Gabe and all the fine people who are associated with the Democratic Party of Lee County. As you know, Miami has the oranges, but Fort Myers, we got the juice. We'll see you.
Lee Pits Live is a Lee Pits Enterprise production.